Not an easy shot here to get up and down.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Jordan Spieth, how about that birdie at the last?
They're called scoring clubs for a reason, and the pros make hitting them look easy. But as the PGA Tour slogan goes, these guys are good. Tour pros are also smart and strategic. They know that quantity is as important as quality when it comes to wedges. Gapping and grooves, lies and lofts, it all matters. And the best in the world like to have all bases covered. But what about us amateurs? How many wedges do we need to carry? Who better to ask than Phil Mickelson's short game coach, Dave Pelz.
With the modern game, with greens getting faster, the more greens you miss, fundamentally, and the faster the greens, the more wedges you need. I think every amateur needs 4. Phil Mickelson has 5 wedges, and he just knows the importance of the short game.
Other experts and touring pros concur.
Probably around 4 or 5, I would say. You know, the wedges, especially for an amateur, around the greens is most important. You know, they're not going to hit too many hybrids, or they're going to be around close to the greens a lot more than what they are from, say, 200 to 250 yards out.
I really feel like they don't really need 4 or 5 irons. You know, certainly hybrids really help them a lot. We score around the greens, so it's important for all of us to have extra wedges.
For most people, it's more important to have a couple of wedges, maybe 3, than having a 2-iron or a 4-iron or even an extra rescue, because you're going to make more difference in your score with wedges than you are with a rescue.
Most agree that all golfers, regardless of skill level, need 3 or 4 wedges. The reason is to ensure distance gaps are covered. All wedges are designed for a maximum yardage, and you'll want the flexibility each provides when it matters most.
It's simple, but it's complicated. So basically I have a lob wedge that's 60 degrees, I have a gap wedge 54, and then I go down to 46 for a pitching wedge. So I have a big gap there because I'm not long enough to not have a 5-wood or a red hybrid or some kind of longer club in my bag.
If I had any gaps, I'd rather see the gaps in, I call it, in the higher end. You can close those up a little bit. But with wedges, I like it 4 degrees is optimum, because you want your distance, and how often do you swing a wedge at full? It's a 3/4, it's all touchy-feely shot. Distance doesn't mean anything. It's hitting that number that means something. That's what you're trying to do.
You've got to have wedges that cover the gaps. You don't want any big gaps, especially in that part of the game, because you get a lot of wedge shots. Doesn't matter the level of play, you get a lot of times you've got to hit a sound wedge or a pitching wedge in a round of golf. So try and cover those gaps. And my biggest thing, learn your yardages, learn how far you hit those clubs, and if you do that, you'll be saving shots.
It's nice to have a bunch of shiny scoring weapons in your holster, but it takes plenty of practice to be as precise as these guys. Amateurs need to try multiple lies and distances on the range in order to keep their short game sharp.
The short game is the most important part, and really if people can have more fun with it, because there's more things you can do with the wedge. You don't have to swing hard. You don't have to be really strong to be a good wedge player. And you can stand there and learn how to hit different shots and take advantage of these wedges and what they now do. Yeah, you have to practice. The wedge game doesn't beat you up practicing, and it has a lot of value to your full swing because it's teaching you how to control spin and trajectory with these clubs when you're not swinging hard. So, you know, it has a lot of benefits by using and practicing these.
Wedge play is perhaps the most underappreciated part of golf, but you've just been educated, so stop overlooking it.